I should say one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on here was to talk about like how your philosophies around communities and how they evolved over time. So
Sure.
what did you learn through the process of these two games, World's Domination and Streamline, and like some of like the good things and some of the challenging things that you had occur, like having like vastly different games, one a mobile game, one a PC game.
I mean, they're radically different communities. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So like with mobile games, you, for lack of a better way of putting it, you have everyone and their mother, like
Yeah.
everybody has a phone, especially, and if you have a free game, everybody is going to get it. So like, especially if you do, you have the artist choice thing like that. So you see it, the artwork looks attractive, boop, got it. So you learn very quickly the ins and outs of the various types of personalities and just how to recognize, like you build a lot of empathy very, very quickly for a lot of different people, including on like an international basis. Like that's the other big thing about, mobile games like that is like your audience is way more international than like most like PC games and console games and stuff like that. Except for the big stuff, of course.
Like not everybody has a PC, but everybody has a cell phone.
Right. So
more or less.
Yeah. So like you get everyone. And so like you end up as like a community practitioner, you end up, whether you're ready for it or not, you end up like having to like really like crunch to understand all these different types of personalities and like just kind of like the way like the biology of like certain types of groups of people who are going to be playing your game. And so like you end up having like different strategies and tactics for dealing with how people from X country are going to react to Y feature and how they're going to compete with people from this region of the world, how they're going to interact and stuff like that, what's going to be the things that they're going to want more, the things that they're going to complain about, the things that they're going to love, the things that they're going to like engage with on various social platforms and like all that kind of stuff. If you're wanting to be a top flight community manager, honestly, like I can't think of a better way to do it than to be on a large scale mobile game.
With such a diverse community that
because your feet are just constantly to the flames. Like there's no way to get around that. It's
like sink or swim, basically. Like
like it's exciting and exhausting, and like you're never going to be short of unique. I don't know why it was hard to say that. Unique experiences, because you never know who you're going to get on any given day. With most like big games on like PC and console and stuff, like there's a stereotypical player for each one of those games, and like you, for better or for worse, can be like, this is the type of person I'm probably going to be dealing with this day. Whereas
that's
like
fair.
on mobile,
that's fair.
You could get anyone at any time, and it's like going to be a totally radically different experience. Like it's going to be like at one point you're going to have a 5-year-old you're dealing with. The next day you're going to be dealing with someone who could be their grandparent. The next day one day you're going to be dealing with a like, somebody who's lived down the street from you. The next day you're going to be dealing with a Saudi prince who spent 10 grand in your game that month. And
did that happen literally?
Treatment. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Of course it did. I
mean, the thing, like, so like the big spenders, those quote whales I was talking about, tend to be like literally like Saudi princes, like royalty from the Middle East, or like very wealthy business people, or like entertainers from East Asia, or like hedge fund managers in the US and Europe and stuff like that. Like people who have like an absolutely ridiculous amount of expendable income and little time to use it. So like one of like the big examples like I always use when I talk about stuff like this is like, it was a hedge fund manager who worked like 12-14 hour days, and World's Domination was literally just his one thing that he had time for at the end of the day, when he was like lounging in bed before he fell asleep, just like blow off steam. Like that
Yeah.
was his thing. Like that was where he had his, you know, one moment of community and entertainment and all that kind of stuff. And so like because that was it, and because that was like the thing that like allowed him to decompress and have some joy in his life, that's where he put his money. Like it was like, I'm going to maximize my enjoyment of this and my experience in this and my ability to like share that with people and like, you know,
Hmm.
fund the experience of it
Yeah.
for my guildmates and all that kind of stuff. So like,
So a hedge fund manager was one of those guys that like distributed his wealth through the guild, huh?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's cool.
So like it was stuff like that, because like, so like when we would have things like that, you know, whether it was like somebody who spent a lot of money or someone who just played a ton or like was extremely active in the community, whatever it was that made somebody stick out, I always made it a point to actually find out how to get in contact with them and just learn about them. So like I would just like, you know, shoot them a message and, you know, be like, hey, what's your story? What's your deal? You know, like tell me about yourself. Why do you play so much? Why do you spend so much? You know, whatever it is. What is it about World's Domination that like really makes you such a like dedicated member of this, you know, player community? And the stories you'd get is just like fascinating, because none of them were, you know, exactly the same. It was just like all these different people who just like found that this particular piece of entertainment, this, you know, particular community facilitator, you know, whatever, was just the thing they needed in their life. And
Wow.
it just like really helped them in some way and, you know, nurtured them in some way. And which is just sounds crazy when you think of like, it's a game, you know, whatever. But
No,
like,
but it's
it is the thing that like enabled them to fulfill something that they couldn't fulfill otherwise. And like that was awesome. Awesome. I loved that. And I love that the ways that they described that and the ways that they would make it happen through this thing
wow.
that we build games to like connect communities, but we never know how that's actually going to like come about in the end, because everybody's
Right.
experience and the way that they approach those things are all unique. And it's just like, it's a wild, awesome and fulfilling experience to like actually have those experiences with those people.
Well, I mean, that's well said.